folks, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Tony. Today we're making deviled eggs. I took a dozen eggs and I boiled them in a pot of water, starting with cold water, and once the water started boiling, I boiled them for 10 minutes. Then I took them out and cooled them quickly under cold water so they would quit cooking. Now I'm going to go ahead, after peeling them, cut my eggs in half and take my yolks, and I will push from the outside and it'll pop those yolks right on out, usually most of the time. I have noticed that if you overboil your eggs, they can be difficult to peel. And I like to add just like a teaspoon of vinegar along with some salt in when I do start to boil. Another thing I would recommend is like a silicone mat or layer on the bottom to prevent the boiling pan from touching the eggs. Now once we get all the eggs done, we want to go ahead and add a tablespoon of pickle relish. I like the sweet, and also a tablespoon of mustard. If you want to spice it up a little bit, you can add some DEJON mustard and it'll still be delicious, just in another unique way. Next, we're going to go ahead and add a half a cup of mayonnaise to this. And another thing I would recommend before you start is to take those egg yolks and mix those up first. We're going to sprinkle a little sea salt on here, and then we'll do a little pepper, about a teaspoon of both. And if you break up the egg yolk, it'll be easier to blend than compared to all the ingredients and trying to blend it. I did it this way and it took probably about 2 to 3 times longer, just to let you know. Even a cook like me can kind of take things out of sync. Now after I got all the ingredients in, I'm going to mix this up really well until we get all the lumps out. And we want it kind of really smooth so it'll make a nice presentation when we pipe it into the egg whites. Also, you can use either a pastry bag with a fancy star tip, or you can use a Ziploc bag like I'm going to do and just cut the tip off. So I took a large Ziploc bag and I'm going to go ahead and fill it full of the egg yolk filling mixture, get it all sealed up and closed. And before I start squishing it towards the end, I'm going to put a little hole in there like you see and get it ready to pipe. We're going to go ahead and start piping now, and when we pipe, we only want to fill it up to the top level and do this to all of them first. In the past I've filled them up and I've ended up with some empty egg whites, and that's a bummer. And so if you start and fill them up to the rim there, you can always go back and top them off a little bit more, as you will see here. And we just go by, zip a little bit here and a little bit there, and make it all look nice and pretty. Once you get it all piped on there and that, it's going to be time to garnish. So I am going to go ahead and sprinkle a little paprika. This is smoked paprika, and oh my gosh, I have never had it before until just recently, and it is a whole new level of paprika that I highly recommend for any dish that you use paprika on. So once I got the paprika, now I'm going to sprinkle a little parsley flakes on it to give it a little more garnish, a little more color for the garnish. And we're going to have a very nice, pretty presentation to share for everybody Thanksgiving Day. Now folks, as I sit here and take some pictures and share the presentation of my final creation of the deviled eggs, if you've enjoyed this episode, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, like, and hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to stay up to date with future videos. Okay, guys, it's time for the pre-Thanksgiving sneak taste test.
There's no way I'm gonna be able to hide. Too busy, but I can't resist. I'm gonna be in trouble. That's just amazing.
Thank you again, folks, for watching, and God bless.